We're all risk takers. Think about it. As we grow along in life, we all want to live longer. We want to live long, healthy lives. So to do this, I turned to my mother's advice. Please remember, always wear clean underwear. Thanks, Mom. But thinking about this and being a data geek, I decided I needed to actually jump on the internet and go to databases like the CDC and the National Safety to find out what it is that really we have to worry about in our everyday lives. Well, I discovered there's actually 113 official ways to die in this country. And that number's been increasing over time. Interestingly, if we look back over the last 100 years, I discovered a few trends. In fact, infectious diseases were quite rampant 100 years ago. We're aware of that. Look at that outbreak of influenza in 1918. But over the course of the century, we actually were able to tackle them with antibiotics and other things. Most diseases are actually quite minor contributors to death in this country, averaging just a few percent, whether it's diabetes, liver disease, lung diseases, things like that. So the story of the 20th century has really been about stroke, cancer, and heart disease. They contribute over 60% of the deaths in this country. And as you can see, the good news is in the last 20 years, we've actually begun to tackle them. In fact, there's good news ahead. If we project out into the future, what are we going to see? We're going to see that we actually will see these diminish. In my daily life, I actually work with entrepreneurs and others to see this actually happen over the next few years. Then what? Then what will we face? What will it be that's going to be a problem? Accidents. Wow, that's surprising. But what kind of accidents? I jumped on the database again and began looking. What did I find? It's not homicides, it's not suicides, it's not automobile accidents over the last 10 years. It's other kinds of accidents. We're becoming a nation of klutzes. But it's probably not the things you guys are thinking about. It's not the high-risk activities. It's not the things we worry about in our everyday lives when our kids are out there. In fact, when I went to the emergency room databases, I discovered the biggest problem is things like stairs. 1.2 million people a year have troubles on the stairs that lead to an emergency room visit. And when you get to the top of the stairs, there's still danger ahead. So beware. In fact, the bathroom is quite treacherous. Over 340,000 people a year have accidents in the bathroom, including about 80,000 people who have problems with the toilet, which I think we could understand. Not to mention your clothing. Over 200,000 people a year actually have accidents from their clothing, jewelry, and other things like that. What surprised me most, though, was the bedroom. Wow, your bed is quite dangerous. Over 560,000 people are injured by their bed. How could this possibly happen? I'm not so sure. But as we look to the future, we have to think about making our lives safer, adult-proofing our lives. We need architects, innovators, people like this audience to think about it, bionics and other approaches. And as we think about ways that we're going to actually make ourselves safer, we need to consider one other thing. Sometimes be careful what you wish for. Reducing risk can sometimes come with its own consequences that we don't expect. So as I look ahead, wow. As I look ahead, I say, let's think about the risks ahead. Let's think about the everyday things that we really want to do and live life to its fullest. And yes, please wear clean underwear. Be safe.